Hello folks, Reloading Bench back with you once again, and it is mail call. Got a little bag here from our friends at the Frayne Forest, and I was updating some, well, that's just perforations that doesn't cut. I was updating some mini cube PCs this past week. Windows 10, Windows 11, PCs that don't get turned on too often. They're kind of like the backup PCs. And my son needed something, and I went for what is one of these. And I realized, well, I'm kind of almost out of these. So years ago, I purchased these, and have used them for years for different reasons. And the number one reason was to build a boot USB for versions of Mac OS. And I would buy these. I started in 16 gigs, and then those were too small for creating a boot OS for Mac OS. Same thing with Windows. And then I moved over to 32 gigs. And the interesting thing is, now it's not a size thing, it's a cost thing. So the 16 gig is nominally less than the 32 gig, which is nominally less than these, the 64 gig. So for like an extra $1, why would you pay almost the same for 16/32 when you get 64? So yeah, if I don't need 64, this is overkill. But the reason I like these is because of their form factor. One, it's a USB key, I think is very cool. But look how svelte that is. It's very, very tiny, very thin. And, you know, I have other USB devices. Oh, this is a little different too in how they package it, in terms of making sure you do not open it. So let's go ahead and, where are all my scissors? My main scissors are missing. So let me open this one, this blue, this deep blue. And again, the cool thing is, there's no writing on it, so it's anodized aluminum. There's no writing, so you don't know what size it is. That's a little bit of a bummer. So usually when I, like for instance, I had, one of the reasons I ran out is I had an old 16 gig, and I did my taxes recently. And years ago, I used to burn all my tax information to a CD, DVD, whatever, and did that for a number of years, and then decided to start moving over to like a USB key. And a lot of USBs are thick and chunky and whatnot, and these are very, very thin. So I put all my tax files on this that I filed, and then I throw it in the envelope with all the paper receipts and all the other things with my tax paperwork, and that works out real great. So and again, when I'm doing stuff, especially, you know, when I say older PCs that have USB, I have plenty of PCs that don't have any USB ports, you know, from the 80s and 90s. Luckily from the 2000s, when USB became a thing, it makes transferring files a whole heck of a lot easier. But yeah, there are times where it's nice to be able to have a very small device to move files in between. And they used to include silver, so this green is a new color. Black and blue, and this, you know, orange were always there. Can't remember the purple, but there always used to be a silver, because it was, you know, black and silver, you know, like Raiders. But these are cool, in my opinion, ways of having your data on small, you know, 64 gig on small devices inexpensively. You know, you go over to, your blue box shop or your retail shops, and they charge a fortune for USB sticks. And what I've noticed is the selection is getting smaller and smaller, and I don't know if that's due to the onslaught of our folks online or what, but I'm a fan of these. So I've been purchasing these for a number of years, and I needed some more, so I jumped up to 64 gigs, and I'm going to bet the next time I need to buy these, it'll be at 128. So we'll see you in a couple years. Later.